Little status update on what's going on with the garage. And I'll walk you through some of the things that I have planned on projects with various things here in the garage. One of the things I need to do is I need to seam up on the left bank the exhaust flange as it comes down off the manifold. It needs to be tightened up a little bit. I got a little bit of an exhaust leak there. Not too long ago, the alternator went out and the choke was messing up. I got those straightened out. It was real simple actually. Once I fixed the alternator, it fixed the electric choke because it wasn't getting the right voltage, so it couldn't operate as it was supposed to. One of the things I need to do on the 78 CJ7 is back when I restored this back in the early 2000s, I had a 10-disc CD changer. I had a twin stick radio from Walmart. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to swap that out. I have a buddy down in Arkansas who's an engineer. And what he went ahead and did was he basically found an original 1970s tape cassette player. And he went through it, tore it all apart, restored the whole thing, 3D printed a new faceplate off of an original faceplate he had. And the thing's ready to rock. And it's probably better than it was brand new. So I'm excited to get that in. I'm going to pull the old 10 disc out, get all the old wiring out for that, and have that thing back more like an original factory radio would be. Since we're here in the Midwest, as the summer is ended and the fall is coming in deeper, I need to get the hard top back on. I got the full-size steel doors over here, and I'm going to pull those out from behind the stop sign and get the hard top and the full steel doors back on here so that it's set up for cooler weather. I've also got my spare tire here where I'm going to be able to get this back onto the vehicle finally. I've got these old tube style bumpers, and I had the original factory style tire mount, which no longer works with these bigger and heavier tires. So I have to get a bumper that will allow me to mount to the frame and have the hanger hang off of that. So those are actually coming here later today. Fingers crossed, FedEx. So I'll be having a new rear bumper as well as a new front bumper, because I was like, I can't do a rear bumper and not have the front bumper. It was going to look a little silly, so I had to do both. Those are going to be worn products, and they look really tough. Real thick gauge metal, so they should last a long time. The RX-7 is going to be a much deeper project for me. I'm hoping to be able to spend this winter getting it all back ready for the road. It's going to get a new ignition switch, which failed on me. I got a new one that's en route from a guy out in Oregon. I got a complete carpet kit that's going to go in it. We're going to reskin the seats back to a factory color. The carpet is going to be upgraded. It's a little thicker. It's got sound deadening. It's got a little insulation, so it should be top notch. We're going to get the fender refixed on the other side where some of the clear coat has started coming off. This is going to be a whole thing. There's a whole list of things that need to be done, and that's just some of the more bigger things that need to be done to get this ready. But it's going to be a longer winter project. The Gladiator is putting in its work. I've got more of these mats here, which will go into our studio. So this is about 1,000 pounds. They weigh about 100 pounds each. They're 4x6 by 3/4. And earlier I had 13 of them in there. And as you can tell, I mean, the Gladiator holds that weight pretty good. So I'm pretty satisfied with the Gladiator in many respects. At the end of the day, you have to remember it is a mid-sized pickup truck, so it's not going to be doing things like an F-250 Super Duty, but at the end of the day, it doesn't cost me as much as an F-250 Super Duty on the initial purchase price, as well as on that diesel gas that I would have been doing with that 6.7. One of the other things that I want to be able to do is I want to be able to pull cars onto the lift if they're not running. After the RX-7, I'm going to get another project car, and I don't know what condition it's going to be in, but I want to be able to pull cars on there without having to push them manually onto the lift. That gets real old. I don't care how strong you are. When you're going up a little bit of a slope of a driveway and you're going up the ramps, it takes work, and why do more work than you have to? And if I get to be able to buy a new toy and play with it, I'm all for that. So I have a 12,000 pound winch from Harbor Freight. It's the Badlands series. I'm gonna bolt it to the floor just on the inside of the lift. So what I have is I have my, like a receptacle that's gonna go underneath your vehicle, bang, just like that, and then you put it in. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put it on the floor, I'm gonna bolt it down. What I did was I got a buddy who's gonna let me borrow his hammer drill, and I'm gonna use these bad boys right here, and I'll put those into the ground. I could use anchors like we did with the 4-post lift on the bend pack, but these should do the trick. What this is gonna allow me to do is when I have the winch ready to use, this will be bolted to the floor just on the inside of the lift, and I'll be able to slide it in, lock it in place, and then when I'm done, I slide the winch back out. Where the only thing that's gonna be on the ground is this, and it's gonna be on the inside of the lift, which is gonna sit underneath the front end of any car that's parked underneath it, so it's not gonna be an obstruction when you're walking around the garage. It's not gonna be something that's in way of the vehicles because it's just gonna be under the front half of the car where there's no tire or anything like that. And I don't own any lowriders, and I don't plan on getting any lowriders, so that shouldn't be a problem. The only thing you gotta do is remember when a car is out of the garage and there's nothing under the lift, don't trip on this. Which I might. So this is really gonna help me out. And the other thing that I like about it, I've got the twin handle on this one here. So what that's gonna allow me to do, it's portable. I can put it in the back of a vehicle if I want. I can hook it onto a hitch. I can put it onto a trailer. I can winch things up on the trailer. I'm gonna have a lot of uses for this winch, and I look forward to being able to do more with it. One of the other things that I've been doing is I've been making sure that I get more usable space on the floor, which is helping me open up more space. And as you may know, I'll purchase gym equipment from time to time, whether I put it in my place, down in my studio, or if I store it here to flip. But being able to have this additional space is really helpful. It's making it to where I can actually do more things in the garage and not have to worry about how am I going to do X, Y, and Z with all that stuff in there. One of the other projects I want to do over the winter is I want to put some lighting underneath the lift here so that more light can go on the underside vehicle as I'm working on it. So that way I can have this much brighter. When you got the lift and you have another vehicle on it and you got all the drip trays going across, the light that's up above, no matter how great the light is, it's not getting through these objects. So I need to brighten everything up down here. That's a live and learn thing. So I'm gonna fix that problem so that I can get everything back illuminated how it was. Having the rack system really helps over here. I got 2 4x8 sheets. I got the kayaks up that my wife likes to use, her bikes that are over here. There's a third pulley over here for my son's bike this winter when he's not going to be using it, so that'll help get that off the floor. So I got all the bikes in the air again. This is really helpful when it comes to having additional space in the garage, because if 3 bikes were on the floor, oh, geez, if all that stuff on this rack system was on the floor, forget about it. I wasn't going to be able to do anything. This is my son Jackson. He has been helping with some of the yard work. He just got done mowing the lawn as the sun is setting, and he's still doing the work. So I'm super excited about his hard work ethic, but he wants to make money. Just bought himself a gaming computer, and maybe we can figure out some more jobs for him out here in the garage over the winter. Maybe help me, second pair of hands. How's that sound?
Good.
Good. Good. So that's at least a dozen things that I have on the books. From the RX-7 to the orange Jeep, the CJ7 to the 80 Corvette. The Gladiator is more of like a thing that everything's pretty much done on it. And the only thing that I may do on something like that is maybe switch out the handles for like a keyless, where it's just a touch door handle, so that allows me to get in and out with having to pull out the fob and stuff like that. That's probably about the only thing I would want to do on there, other than regular service, driving, maintenance, and stuff like that. Make sure that you stay tuned. If you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit the like button. And leave me a comment if you notice something that, hey Robert, what are you going to do with this? What are you going to do with that? Or I got a suggestion for you. Hit me up in the comments. I'm more than happy to give those an answer or put out a video with everything you need to know about it.